Hello and welcome to another episode of eKO, Education, Knowledge, Opportunity, presented to you by Everjobs Bangladesh. I'm your host, Sabirul Islam, Managing Director of Everjobs Bangladesh. Today is a jam-packed show because for the first time we are going live. And what I mean by that is for the first time it gives you, the audience, the chance, the viewers, the chance to be able to ask questions directly to our guest on the show. We are representing the pharmaceutical industry this week because last week we focused on NGOs, this week is pharmaceuticals. So if you're wishing or dying to have a career within the pharmaceutical industries or have any questions, you can ask our guest live on studio by visiting our website at www.everjobs.com.bd/echo or any profession in general. If you want to apply, you can go on to www.everjobs.com.bd. Now, why are we focusing on the pharmaceutical industry? Because I think personally it's an industry that really needs to raise its awareness as to what sort of jobs and opportunities are out there. Today we have a very interesting guest on our show. His name is Alam Ishraq Chowdhury. He's the head of Talent and Organisational Development at Sanofi, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Now, if you can tell us a bit more about who you are and what you do, and a bit about your personal background and how you got into this role within Sanofi.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, thank you again for the opportunity. It's wonderful being here. I started my career in 2006, so it's been almost 10 years. And among 10 years, 8 years I have spent in pharmaceutical industry in Sanofi. Currently, I'm leading the talent and OD for Sanofi Bangladesh. It looks after recruitment, training, and people development. In 2008, I joined Sanofi. And it was like when I had the opportunity, I joined Sanofi as a pharmaceutical industry. It was a change for industry for me. Previously, I used to work in banking industry. Honestly, after joining a pharmaceutical industry, it opened an eye for me because every day we purchase various medicines for various reasons, and mainly because of sickness to get well. And there not enough time when we look at the box of the medicine, we look at the names, but there's also another name between the brand name that we call the generic names, and there are some labels, there are some instruction there, and there are also some packaging. So there's lots and lots of effort put by the organization into making a medicine and distributing it, reaching it to our consumer, to the patients. And working for 8 years in pharmaceutical companies, more than 8 years actually. So I found that in every aspect of the medicine, from production to quality check, R&D, distribution, marketing, in every aspect, there's area of improvement and there's area for value addition for the patient, making it more easy, more patient-friendly, more easy for our doctors to know about the products, also branding and everything. And in every value addition, there's opportunity for employment and there's opportunity for talented people to be engaged with the industry. So with my experience, I found that pharmaceutical has been it's a wonderful industry. And surprisingly, I'm not sure if everyone knows about it, it's growing in a very good rate in our country. For like last year, we had the growth of 15%. The industry grew at 15%, and the size of the industry is huge. So an industry that's going at a rate of 15%, previous year it was like 12%. So it's a big industry and it's growing, and so there's huge opportunities for employees, for new talents, new freshers to come and join here. So, and I'm working for 8 years, and it's been wonderful experience working in an industry like this.
So what inspired you to get into pharmaceutical? Is that sort of something you had as a passion when you were young, growing up, saying, yes, I will work for this sort of industry within?
To be very honest, when as a fresh graduate, it didn't hit me to work in a pharmaceutical industry. So I thought this will be opportunity to help the fresh graduates know what a fantastic industry there is opportunities for us. When I was a fresh graduate, I'm from business background. So I had dreams of working in many other industries, but pharmaceutical industry was not a top priority on that. So when I had few years of experience, then I got to know about more industries, what are the industries going to offer us. And then I found out that pharmaceutical industry has many things to offer, but for some reason this industry is not a hot industry among the job seekers for some reason. But when I got into the pharmaceutical industry, I studied about the organization I wanted to join, intended to join at that time. It was Sanofi, and also the industry that I'm going to get joined. And really it helped me to change from another industry to this industry and stay here for like 8 years, I'll say it's a long time.
Why would you say it's something that's not attracting job seekers? Because this is
It's not
something
attracting job seekers, not true. It's like for pharmaceutical graduates, for doctors, it's a good industry. But when you talk about other graduates, it doesn't come as a top priority for the organizations. Like for FMCG or telco or banking, this comes as top priority for among the job seekers. But pharmaceutical, it being a very vast industry and with a huge growth rate, still it doesn't come as a top priority other than pharmacy graduates to take it as an industry for beginning their career with.
Would you say the organizations that are within the pharmaceutical industries, that they're actually providing enough job opportunities or enough career opportunities for the young generation, especially here in Bangladesh? Because when I hear of Bangladesh, I hear of two very common things. You either be a doctor or an engineer. But is this the sort of line you have to study in to really become somebody who's work within the pharmaceutical industry? Because you mentioned something earlier to me before the show that actually it's not necessarily that. You can actually have be educated in other fields and still get into the pharmaceutical industry.
Exactly. I was mentioning that there is a concept that to join in a pharmaceutical company, you have to be a pharmacist or a doctor. But it's not the thing. Like I said, that there are many stages where you can add value for the medicine for the patient. You have many other area functions to work for.
What would be an example that you can give?
For example, you need raw materials to make the medicines in a production site. And you need also raw materials to make the packaging for the production site. And there are some department who sources these materials, good materials that is good quality and also in a good price for that we can support our patients. So who does that? It's a purchasing department. There's something called the purchasing department. They does it. We need to distribute the medicine to our people, to the shops and to the distributions. So our distribution is there, supply chain is there. So finance is there to manage this. HR is there. So there are many other areas other than pharmacy graduates where they can add knowledge. Even in pharmaceutical marketing, I mean, if you're a good marketeer, you know about the industry, if you have the knowledge, you can come and work in the marketing. But there's always a concept that you have to be a pharma graduate to join a pharmaceutical company. It's not always the case.
Well, I think that's a very, very interesting point, that actually you don't have to be a doctor or you don't have to be a pharmacist to work within the pharmaceutical industries. And this is something which I also like to echo as well very, very deeply, because it's an important message that even for whatever career, whatever industry you want to go down, it's not necessarily having to have the expertise within it or being somebody who's directly involved in it. You can have other experience in other sort of industries, and those learning points you're able to put together within your own career and to have a root within the pharmaceutical industries. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the importance of this episode is the fact that we are live. So you're able to ask questions directly to our guest on the show. So if you go on to www.everjobs.com.bd/EKO, which stands for echo, you will see a little tiny box on the right-hand corner of the website, and there, after 3 or 4 seconds, it will pop up, and you're able to ask a question which will come directly to me live in studio, which I will ask and echo on your behalf to our guest on the show. This could be any sort of question you wish to learn about the pharmaceutical industry, you want to have a career, how do you approach the sort of organizations that are out there. So it's giving you a voice, you the chance to be able to express what you want to learn about the pharmaceutical industry. Now, for me, this is also something quite new, because I personally don't have much of an interest, but I know all our audience here who are from Dhaka University, they have exceptional interest within the pharmaceutical industry. Now, what would you say are the certain opportunities that currently exist within the pharmaceutical industry that are hot property or hot topics for not just for the young generation but for the elder ones as well?
Let me get it clarified. So you want to know about what are the opportunities
that
you
like
can have?
For example, because even my knowledge on that is very, very limited, but there are those who want to know what sort of jobs, because pharmaceutical is very broad. Yeah. There are so many aspects of it. So if you can explain to our viewers, to our audience as well, what sort of jobs that are out there.
Okay. So let me break it down in 2 areas. One is the production side, where you manufacture the medicines, and another is the marketing and the distribution side. So in the production side, the medicines are made. So there are many areas to work in there. You can work in manufacturing. There is also engineering, where the machineries, maintenance, and other things are there. That's where the engineers comes in. You have quality assurance, you have quality control, and then you have packaging. So in a factory, in a production site, there are many areas to work for pharmaceutical graduates. And also in other areas, there are also to work for some other graduates also, because also there are warehouse maintenance, there is distribution side. So then comes to the other part, which is non-manufacturing side. In non-manufacturing side, after the production is made, the medicines are made, what you need to do? You need to market them. Then you need to sell them, and then you need to distribute it and reach it to the consumers, sorry, not consumers, the shops, the medicine shop, the chemist shops. So there are many areas where you can work. As I mentioned before, you have purchasing, who purchases the raw materials, everything. There are distribution, who distributes it. There is supply chain. And of course, there are finance, who manages the cost, maintains the profit. I'm from HR, so there is HR is there. So there are many areas in the pharmaceutical where they can work. So first they can make a choice, like if they want to work in the manufacturing side or if they want to work in the non-manufacturing side. Because in my experience, I found people that someone said that I want to work in a manufacturing side. I don't want to work in a non-manufacturing side. Okay, that's fine. Then if you want to work in a manufacturing side, which area you want to work in? Do you want to work in manufacturing? Do you want to work in quality? Do you want to work in R&D? Though R&D we don't have in that aspect in the country. And or you want to work in distribution, or you want to work in packaging. So many areas. Then you have to find out which areas you are most interested in. And then if you want to work in non-manufacturing side, then you also have to find out in which areas you want to start. I found that fresh graduates are mostly interested to work in marketing. But the thing is, there are many areas to work other than marketing.
Because it's one of the highest, sales and marketing.
Sales and marketing, it's very common time, but I want to start my career in marketing. So, but there are many other areas to work for in marketing, as I mentioned before. But sometimes for fresh graduates, it's better to have the open mindset, because like in production side, there are many areas to work for. And when you work and start working in many areas, then you get to know about an overall idea about the whole production side, how it works.
Course.
Same when in non-manufacturing side, if you can work in sales, if you can work in marketing, if you can work in any other areas, then you have a holistic idea how the full company runs. So the better idea you have, the more value addition you can make to the organization, production side or non-production side, both. And that's how people are developed. The more knowledge and more areas you have, the faster you grow in your career and the more value you have as an employee or as a talent.
Well, we've got to learn that there are ample amounts of opportunities out there within the pharmaceutical industry. If you would like to apply for jobs within the pharmaceutical industry, you can go on to the Everjobs Bangladesh website at www.everjobs.com.bd, because we have so many opportunities there within the pharmaceutical industry for you to apply. And also a shout out to employers as well, who are already set up organizations within the pharmaceutical industries. If you're looking to recruit, you're also able to sign up on Everjobs on our platform, so you're able to hire and recruit the job seekers we have on. Today we had a very special guest on show, Alam Ishraq Chowdhury, Head of Talent and Organisational Development at Sanofi. We've heard a lot about the pharmaceutical industry from him, but before we go back to our guest, I'd like to just introduce our audience, our fantastic audience from Dhaka University. They'll be asking questions to our guest in a few moments, but let's continue our discussion.
Sure.
There was a few questions that popped into my head as to, for example, the pharmaceutical industries and the companies that are within the pharmaceutical industry, do they follow a specific procedure when it comes to providing job opportunities, and how would people generally apply? Because I think it follows a more traditional approach, because at Everjobs Bangladesh, we are, and compared to other online job portals that are out there, there are certain issues in terms of applying, in terms of how you're able to, the number of postings that we have, or the number of opportunities that we have. So what would you say to encourage the companies that are within the pharmaceutical industry to take a more approach, to a modern day approach, rather than handing CVs to their firms, etc.?
Okay, it's a very good question actually. It's a modern day actually, it's a digital age right now.
Yes,
right?
of course.
So our industry is evolving. Our industry is evolving, and as mentioned, it's growing at a very good rate. So industry will adapt to the changes. Of course, there are some companies that still does the online job posting, and some of the companies.
Everjobs Bangladesh.
Some of the companies does also use Facebook and LinkedIn for job posting and hiring people. I know we do, because, and also some other companies are also coming to this area of hiring in the new digital age. But as change takes some time, so industry will learn that it's the best way to reach the people, because now everyone has tab, everyone has mobile, everyone has 3G. So connectivity is over the internet, the social media and other things. So I don't think I need to invite them in a way, because the change is dominant, and change is only the constant thing. And I think industry has already learned, and they are going to learn more, and they are going to adapt to the new ways of hiring and other things. So I think in coming days, you're going to see more jobs on the
well, I hope so. More
on
jobs
the online
on the
job portals, social
industry.
medias, and everything.
Of course.
And I know the industry is already working on it. So I think it will be a positive change in the upcoming days.
Well, let's hope so. So more postings are on everjobs.com.bd. Yes. So there was another question in terms of when it comes to skills and capabilities that people need to apply or to get into the pharmaceutical industries. What would you say to our viewers in terms of the sort of skills and capabilities that they will need to have to get a job or an opportunity there?
Okay. For fresh graduates, I'll say it will be the same skill and opportunities for any other companies, any other industries. Because first of all, if you want to start working in a pharmaceutical industry, you have to have the passion to work in a pharmaceutical industry. First and foremost thing, you must have the interest to work in a pharmaceutical industry, because this industry is totally different than any other industry. Then you need to learn how this industry works. And if you want to go for a specific organization, you need to know what are the strengths of that organization, how that organization works, and how you can add value to that organization in any specific position you want to go in. And for experienced candidates, of course, experience plays a role when, like what we call the lateral entry, mid-level entry. In that case, the experience plays a role. If you want to have someone working in marketing for 2-3 years experience, then that's a lateral entry. But for freshers, I'll say first and foremost, the passion is important, and also the knowledge and education is important.
In what way would you say the industry is different in terms of how getting into the pharmaceutical industry? Because you just mentioned there, and I find that very, very interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to know, what is it that's different about it?
The different about this thing, that pharmaceutical makes medicines, right? And medicines, actually, you are actually touching the lives of people in a very, very different and positive way. So it's the mindset, and it's something like more of an ethical and integrity you need to work in an organization, because like the products you are making, the quality you are checking, skipping one step or skipping just changing the raw materials can change the life of an employee because of the quality of the product. The way you are promoting your products, the way ethical marketing works. So it's a different way of marketing, because in pharmaceutical we do marketing in a different way because of our regulations and other things. It's not like promoting our products in any other way the other companies does. So it's a different way of working. So you have to adapt to that way of working, and you have to have the mental mindset that yes, I want to work in that way in an organization that promotes ethical mindset, and I will be able to touch people's life in a different and positive way. That's a mindset you need to have to work.
I really, really like that. The importance of adaptation and the importance of mindset, because these are two very, very interesting and important things which I think are expressed not just in the pharmaceutical industry, but any sort of industry, and especially career related. You want to be a professional, you want to have a job, you want to be somebody who is successful. The mindset is the most important thing, to think positive, to believe in yourself, and to go out there and express it, but also learning to adapt, because you may be an individual who thinks that I'm only good at this, but unless you try something else, unless you give something a go, you will never know how you're able to gain more experience and adapt to different scenarios. Only then will you truly test yourself. And that's an important message which I think you've expressed fantastically. Okay. Now, I'd like to open the floor out to our wonderful students from Dhaka University. So if you do have a question you'd like to ask regarding the pharmaceutical industry to our wonderful guest, please do so.
Chance to tell something.
Please introduce your name.
My name is Mohammad Sajjad Parvez. Our speaker has already discussed a lot of things about pharmaceutical industry. but we have learned that pharmacy practice and pharmacy learning is not only industry oriented. In developed country like USA or Canada, we have seen that clinical pharmacy and therapeutics is a main concern for providing the patient care. So what are the initiatives taken from the pharmaceutical industry to spread or to open the wing of pharmacists to work as a clinical pharmacist? Thank you.
As you are a pharmacy graduate, you are a pharmacy student, so I think you understand the concept of therapeutical pharmacy and clinical pharmacy. So you also need to understand the market currently Bangladesh is in which stage. If you consider about USA and EU market or European Union market, they are very matured market. So their industry has come a long way through the changes and evolutions, and now it's in a stage where therapeutical pharma and clinical pharma, as you mentioned, are in process, and that's are working. So you also have to understand the length our pharmaceutical industry has come. Yeah, it's growing in a very high rate, but to reach to that level, we need to give the industry a bit more time. And I'll say that it's not what pharmaceutical companies can do, it's also the environment and the situation that will tell us when we can take that initiative for promoting those kind of pharma practices. So if you ask me right now, I will say when time comes, it will happen.
Please try your best for us for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
So I have a question. My name is Tanjina Akhtar Shuma. Sir, my question is, as you know, as we are pharmacy student, we have not as much knowledge in marketing and management as business background student. So, sir, if I want to be a pharmacist in marketing sector, how I will improve my skill on marketing and management to set a better career in the pharmaceutical industry? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent question. The first step, I think you have already achieved. That the first step is you want to learn. You feel the need that you want to need to know about marketing more. So that's the first thing. And I think when the change comes, our education, maybe the curriculum will change and you will have more marketing knowledge and everything. But if you want to have more marketing knowledge, you can do some study on your own, or you can approach to any companies just to learn for marketing. If you want to go approach any companies just for learning about marketing, I think no companies will not allow you just for the sake of learning, because I think pharmaceutical graduates, you have to do 1 month, 15 days learning in manufacturing side, right? In any company's manufacturing side. So after completing that, you can ask the organization to give you a chance in the marketing area so that you can learn how to promote marketing, because it's for your own development and you have to take that initiative. You can go online, it's like open knowledge everywhere is right now. So you can go and learn about marketing and other things, or you can discuss some of your friends who are studying in business or BBA or MBA, then you can have the knowledge, have the basic knowledge, and when you start working, your experience will give you more and more knowledge. So does that answer your question?
Okay, yes sir, thank you.
We have a question coming in from Rangpur, from Anika from Rangpur, and she's asking, how should I prepare for any written exam for recruitment in this industry?
Okay, if you ask me the question like for recruitment in the industry, it's going to be a bit difficult for me to understand, because every company has their own areas of setting up the questions. But I think for fresh graduates, the questions are mainly set on basic ideas, basic pharma knowledge, if you're pharmacy graduates, basic idea about pharmacy industries, and some like communications, good communications in English, math, IQ. These are the basic areas where how the companies prepare their questions for fresh graduates. And of course, if you target a specific company, you have to go to web page or call or go there, whatever you do study, find out the specific need of the organization, know about the specific organization before you approach. I think that's...
Well, I hope that answers Anika's question, who's from Rangpur. So. We have another question coming in. It's a very, very simple question. This is from Ashik from here in Dhaka. He's asking, what is the minimum CGPA I need to be considered a candidate?
Okay, if That's a difficult question to answer because CGPA actually, I think, for some university it varies depending on the grade. But I'm not going to say any specific number on CGPA because, as I mentioned before, first you have to have the passion, then you have to apply, and if you're selected, then you have to pass the written exam. So I don't think any companies will give you a specific CGPA that this is the CGPA we're going to hire this candidate. No, we want the best candidate. Every company wants the best candidate. And if you are the best candidate with whatever CGPA, then you will be hired. So I'm not going to say that a specific CGPA, but of course it's a competition. So some point of time it comes into play. So study well and ensure you have a good CGPA, so increase your chances.
Okay, well, end of the day, Ashik, it just goes to show CGPA is not always everything, but yes, do study hard. I'm not saying, neither is our guest saying that don't study hard. You do need good grades, and of course that gives you a bit of a boost as well. One more quick question coming in as well is that what are the key aspects to keep in mind before applying for a job in the industry? And this is from Ali from Sylhet.
The points before. If you talk about the industry, first you have to have the passion to work in the pharmaceutical industry. And if you want to go for a specific company, then learn about the organization and in which position you are applying. You have to assess yourself and assess your own strength and see how you can add value to the organization. Because when an organization is hiring you, the organization is hiring the employee for organization's benefit. So the organization need to know what value this employee or this potential talent can add to my company. So you need to know about the organization, you have to know about your job, and first of all, you need to know about yourself. Do you want to go in the industry or in this organization, in this position?
Okay. Welcome back to eKO, presented by Everjobs Bangladesh. We have a wonderful guest here from Sanofi, Alam Ishraq Chowdhury, who is the head of Talent and Organisational Development. And we've learned so much regarding the pharmaceutical industries, how you can have a career within it. And in fact, the fact that you don't necessarily have to be a doctor or somebody who is within the pharmacy industry to be able to become somebody who has that sort of experience or knowledge within the industry. It can be anybody and everybody who just has a passion to want to get in, and you're determined and you're driven and you're able to adapt. The mindset is everything, and that's very, very important. Now, before we continue the discussion with our guest and with our audience here, we have a very, very exciting opportunity, which I did mention last week, which is still rolling on this week. And you see this here, the everjobs.com.bd briefcase. This is the most important briefcase you will ever see. We are presenting a first time ever a live opportunity for you to be able to apply for an internship opportunities to work with us at Everjobs Bangladesh. So if you want to learn more about the IT industry, you want to learn more about jobs portals, you want to work with us, you can go on to www.everjobs.com.bd/eKO, eKO. That's once again www.everjobs.com.bd/eKO, where there's an apply button. You can sign up and you are able to hopefully be shortlisted, and you will be here live in studio on episode number 4, where I will be handing this briefcase over to you. There's tons of goodies in there, which involves smartphones to other essentials for you to be ready, fully prepared for this internship opportunity. Now, going back to our audience members here from Dhaka University, I believe a few of you had really, really interesting questions which you'd like to ask our guest.
Sir, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Labani Akhtar. There is a question that Bangladeshi people or patients like to buy the foreign products, drug medicine. How can we increase the acceptance of Bangladeshi people to buy these products made by Bangladesh?
Okay, so let me clarify it. So by foreign products, you mean medicines or?
Medicine and drug products.
Regarding medicine and drug products, okay. Our industry is currently meeting around 97% of our local needs. So only 3% of the need is made by the medicines from outside. And 75% of the need is made by the local organizations, not by the multinational organizations, though I am from a multinational organization. But so I think it's already there that the local companies' medicines are being sold more in our organization, in our country, for the overall consumption. So, and I think it's already increasing, and the growth rate is more contributed by the local industries from our local organizations. And so I think they are doing pretty good in that area.
Well, I think that's a very, very important and powerful question, which really represents Bangladesh very well. Now, we are really short on time now, but I'd like you to be able to give your final words of advice and to our wonderful viewers and even to our audience here about the pharmaceutical industries, what sort of skills they will need, what sort of capabilities they need to have, just to recap on everything that we've discussed and the essentials, really.
Okay. Let me just say that pharmaceutical industry, first of all, it's a wonderful industry to work in. It's an industry where you can touch people's lives in different ways. So if you really want to work in pharmaceutical industry, just set up your mind, go for it. And it's an industry that's growing in a good rate in the country. And also few of our companies are exporting outside. So the growth is unlimited, growth opportunities are unlimited. So as an industry, it's a fantastic area to start working and grow your career here. At any point, you can work in manufacturing, you can work in marketing, distribution, any area. It's a fantastic industry to work in, one. And the second is for fresh graduates, I'll say that first set up your mind. Have the passion where you want to work. Doesn't matter.
Mindset and passion. I love it. When this keeps repeating, it really gives me goosebumps.
Exactly. Because whenever we are in an interview or whenever we are meeting someone, if someone is passionate about their job, you can just tell it. You just know that it's the passion that's driving them. And all the successful people has their passion. And I'll say that set your own success standard. What is your success standard? Do you want to have 4 cars, 5 buildings? Is that
not to compare. I think people here in Bangladesh like to compare themselves with.
Exactly. So set your own success standards. What is your success? One of my senior colleagues tell me that, Ishraq, I knew one person who could have done anything in his life. He was so talented, so anything. And so what did he do in the end? So he's living with his family and 2 kids. He's very happy. That's what was his success standard. So set your own success standard and take your own decision, because if you're not taking your decision, someone else is going to take it for you. And whenever you're graduating, it's a competitive world out there. So you're going to face some competition. But if your success standard is set, your goal is set your goal. If you don't have your goal set, do it now, not tomorrow, immediately. Set your goal and break it down step by step. Go to a step by step. You will fall down, you just get up. If someone pushes you down, get up and say thank you, because that person pushed you down. That's why you know how to stand up and start working again. So set a positive mindset. Try, because there are no problems in the world, only challenges, and small challenges or big challenges. You just overcome the challenges and you reach your goal. Trust yourself. Like, we all have enormous potentiality, unlimited potentiality. Just believe in yourself, your talent, and the whole world is yours.
Well, there's a lot of very important messages here, and I have to say I really love the messages you've been echoing, because it resonates with me personally as well. The fact that you've been telling about mindset, you've been telling about people to stand up, to think positive, to follow their passion. All of this reflects on each and every one of you who needs to be able to adapt to these sort of beliefs, because career-wise, success-wise, opportunity-wise, each and every one of those have to be embedded. Because end of the day, you want to be somebody who sets your own standards. You want to be somebody who doesn't compare with others. You want to be somebody who believes in yourself. And you want to be somebody who actually says that, yes, this is who I am, this is what I represent, and this is my finishing line. Once you're able to set that, you set daily targets, you set weekly targets, you set monthly, yearly targets, and you work towards them. Once you're able to do that, you're able to set your own goals, you're able to set your own standards and achieve them. And that's what's going to put your smile on your face. And I think that's all it is, right? Exactly. Being happy. When you follow your passion, you're happy about what you do. So it's just been it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And even our audience, a wonderful audience from Dhaka University. Now, before I wrap up the show, before I finish the show, if you would like more career advice, if you would like to learn more about other industries that exist rather than just the pharmaceutical industry, you can go on to our YouTube page as well. Just type in Everjobs Bangladesh or even eKO, and you will see it'll turn up there. You can even watch last week's episode as well. We were talking about the NGO industry. So we are evolving, we are growing, and that's what we want to see you with as well. For career advice specifically on how to develop as a person, how to be a professional, you can go on to our website at www.everjobs.com.bd/job-journal, where you'll hear and read a lot of information regarding that. And one thing, very, very important thing is I want each and every one of you watching to be able to sign up onto Everjobs to start your own profession, because we have tons and tons and tons of job opportunities for you. It's something that I personally truly believe in, we believe in as well. So you should be able to go on to everjobs.com.bd and sign up. Once again, I want to thank you for coming. You've been an absolute star on the show. Our audience as well have been absolutely fabulous, and the questions I hope have inspired, and your message have inspired the viewers. So thank you once again for watching eKO, and we hopefully see you again next week.